We stand, we rise, we kill, alright. We stand, we rise, we kill, alright.
We stand up, we rise up to give our lives up for this burden, this passion to burn a lifetime for you.
Hey guys, Legendary Ghidorah here today, and we're going to be continuing with Grimlock. What if Grimlock was in Transformers Prime Part 3, Rivals Reunion? Now, this is going to have a lot of stuff here just because Grimlock is in the Transformers Prime universe. He's flipped it over and actually caused his own little loop of effects here. Or should I say, chain of effects here. But today, like I said last time, he built the Protectobots. And the Protectobots are on their first mission to retrieve the Immobilizer, okay? This is still a part of Season 2 with the relics and everything. Yeah, so Grimlock basically built the built the Protectobots as basically their own little, extra strike team, so the Autobots, can go on other missions here. And their first mission is against the Combaticons, who came a lot, earlier and who weren't in the original series. I do think Megatron would summon them, or at least call for them as well. He needs the extra power and the extra muscle. So the fight between these two actually goes to the point where they actually need to use, combiners. Now, yeah, that's actually a big deal if your fight is going that, long here, and you're going to need combiners. So this is the point where Bruticus is the first to combine into, Bruticus here, and the Protectobots like Hotspot, Red Alert, stuff like that, all are basically, doing their best here, and then they decide to combine. So we get a full heated matchup of Defensor against Bruticus. Yeah, we get Defensor versus Bruticus, and probably one of the second or third episodes into season 2 here. So yeah, this is over the Immobilizer, which actually is a powerful relic. We then pick up with our main character of this series, oh geez, where did that come from? Grimlock here. He's actually investigating a surge, or at least a mining surge from Decepticons here. He just cleared a bunch of Viacons pretty easily here, and is searching through this cave, which actually looks very familiar to him. He sees markings, he sees ancient claw marks, he sees, basic stuff here, basic beast type stuff here, and he stealthily turns into his robot mode and sees Megatron and Shockwave in the cave here. Now, the first thing is, before he even leaps at them, he investigates what he sees, and they're actually standing over Predacon fossils. Yeah, Predacons this early on in the series, so you know where this is going here. But not just Predacons. This is basically one of the final battlegrounds Grimlock took part in with Predacons and Maximals here. So we have Maximal skeletons here and Predacon skeletons here. Yeah, so this is a very big deal here. This is a very big deal here. So without a moment's hesitation, we get Grimlock lunging at Megatron, launching him through the the side wall of the caves, saying this isn't a place where you should even be, Megatron, and these two go at it hard. Again, this is them with them being, fully used to each other. We haven't seen Optimus Prime versus Megatron. So again, we see more Grimlock versus Megatron than we'd like to be. But each fight is much more epic and pretty much has much more violence and confrontation. Megatron lays into Grimlock with a mean 3-piece. But again, this is Grimlock, Dinobot champion, strongest Transformer alive out there. He lays into Megatron with his own 3-piece that sends Megatron flying through the cave that they're in, collapsing it all around. But he says, "Oh no, don't think I forgot about you, Shockwave," and literally leaps at Shockwave, punching him through, a set of cave structures, stalagmites, punching him through a set of stalagmites. Blech. And this is when Shockwave gets up, remarking that Grimlock is his ultimate creation, and actually goes on remarking on how he actually built him from, well, pretty much just the same fossilized structure as these Predacons and Maximals. He winds up blasting Grimlock, who takes out his sword and deflects it. This is when Grimlock goes on a rant here, ranting how Shockwave tortured him. So, while that's happening, Bruticus actually has the upper hand on Defensor, but Defensor actually sends out a signal to show, a distress beacon, send out a distress beacon, and this is where the rest of Team Prime actually arrives here. So you have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, RC, Bulkhead, Wheeljack, Smokescreen. Alright? All six of them going at it against Bruticus. Now, the Autobots engage here. Oh, yeah, Cliff Jumper as well. Sorry about that. Sorry. Almost forgot about Cliff Jumper. But, yeah, they're not doing too hot against Bruticus, even when they, are all together. Even with the added might of the Protectobots, who actually had to disengage, as they really can't maintain that combiner form that long. They feel like a liability that way. So even with the added addition of, 5 Protectobots here, 5 enhanced Autobots here, they're still not able to beat Bruticus, who is a pure and complete combiner and is more in sync with himself. Smokescreen actually goes up to live up to his namesake here, and we're going to give Smokescreen the ability to create smoke clouds. Now you might say, Legendary, why are you giving him this ability? Has he ever had it before? Yes, he's had it in the live action Transformers comics. I will be making a video about that. I am making a lot more Transformers videos for the Rise of Beast section, as Transformers is one of the foundations of this channel. So you will see a lot of Transformers videos from here on out here, okay? So, without further ado here, so Smokescreen creates the Smokescreen as well as he should here. This is when Bulkhead and Wheeljack perform a fastball special, with Bulkhead launching Wheeljack with 2 swords out, stabbing Bruticus in his onslaught area chest here. Doesn't go too deep, doesn't really puncture the main spark, but it does do a lot of damage here. This allows Optimus Prime and Bumblebee to get on top of Bruticus's head. Remember, Optimus Prime does not have his Season 3 body yet, so he still has his Season 1 and 2 body here. His basic normal body here, and they basically bombard Bruticus from above here. Now Bruticus, not playing any games here, sends a sonic pain wave, throwing everyone back. This is when Optimus says they need to divide and conquer this. They'll handle, Bruticus, while RC and Cliff Jumper actually go deeper into the cavern that they're in and get the immobilizer. But unfortunately, Arachnid. Oh my god, I almost said a Black Arachnid. Woo! Arachnid is there trying to pull out the immobilizer. So you have RC and Cliff Jumper against Arachnid. Now, yeah, that should be a pretty interesting fight in my opinion. Now, back to our lovely 2 versus 1 section. Shockwave wails Grimlock through his own set of stalagmites here, and then transforms into his tank form, and then pulverizes Grimlock relentlessly with his Energon blast here. Grimlock gets up, tackles Shockwave out the form here, and beats him into the ground here, collapsing the full cave on them. This collapses them on the Predacon bones. Grimlock is, upset that he collapsed this, basically this ancient piece of history that the planet would never know about. But he's actually glad, because they might not be able to get the Predacon fossils and the Maximal fossils. So yeah, we have Megatron leaping back in, this time with his sword, ready to slice Grimlock in half. Grimlock actually catches it, and pretty much, that anime type fashion, when someone throws a sword and they catch it with like both their hands, he basically does that, throws it up, and then smashes Megatron into the ground. He then turns into his Dinobot form, pins Megatron with 1 foot and begins to bite on Megatron's cannon arm. Megatron uses his free arm to try and punch Grimlock, but Grimlock blocks it with his Dinobot arm. He then begins to crunch harder and harder on Megatron's cannon. Even the fact that it's crushing and wheezing out doesn't bother him. It even explodes in his mouth, and Grimlock is still unfazed by this. Kid you not, Megatron's fusion cannon is able to literally shred apart mountain-sized Unicrons in the series. So this is a big deal. He then goes to rip Megatron's arm off and eats it. Yeah, we're going that far here. Yeah, Grimlock went full toe payback, Uno reversed. I tried on Shockwave, so now I'm going to try it on you type of deal here. Shockwave actually saves Megatron in this situation by actually showing Grimlock footage of his team getting slaughtered by Bruticus here. So he goes in a complete rage here as he sees the others are, losing because of him and that they could possibly die because he's not there to help him. So he actually gets a rage boost from this. Not a major one like the one he did against Megatron, but it's enough to where it's very potent in that it'll increase his strength for when he fights Bruticus. He signals to Ratchet, who actually says he's been trying to reach him for the past couple minutes here, that they're losing out bad. He was just about to go himself and see if he can try anything to help out here. Grimlock tells him no, and Ratchet pretty much opens a space bridge to the coordinates where Grimlock puts himself in between the Autobots and Bruticus. He then dons his Tyrannosaurus form on Bruticus here. So yeah, this means we get Grimlock versus Bruticus, early on in the series. Bruticus rambles on about how Grimlock is puny, but as we see here, the size is really not much to, rack on here. So Grimlock actually goes for a fire breath and tail swipe maneuver where Bruticus actually, begins to wail on him. They trade blows, Sonic Pain Wave versus Grimlock's actual stump, and he actually creates his own version of the Sonic Pain Wave, which is actually able to match Bruticus's. This is when Grimlock actually uses his superior speed to use his Tyrannosaurus jet boosters to ram Bruticus, transform in the mid of it, and as you guys see here, 1-2 launches him through the cave here. Optimus Prime injured, thanks Grimlock for saving him, but he does say they need to get the immobilizer. Grimlock, no time, runs to the back, sees RC and Cliffjumper both getting tortured by Arachnid, grabs Arachnid by her spider legs, and pretty much hits her with that boom, bam, Hulk, Loki, bow. Knocks her out, grabs RC, grabs Cliffjumper, and then takes the immobilizer with another hand. So yeah, this was, I gotta say it's gonna be pretty intense episode here. A lot of combat, and this is when Grimlock tells, Grimlock and Ratchet get the other Autobots back to base here. We see from the Decepticons' point of view that they need to speed up any plans that they have left here. So now this actually makes the Decepticons and Autobots more desperate here, especially after when they get back to base here. Grimlock explains to them that they're probably going to resurrect and revive the Maximals and Predacons. So this means that they have to deal with a lot more than they expected here. Arachnid returns, failed to, defeat Grimlock and, retrieve the immobilizer. It's in the Autobots' hands now. Megatron is visibly injured. Even Knockout can't even help him with the severity of his arm. Even the fact that the mango portion of his arm is fully damaged here. So this means Megatron would probably actually go with Dreadwing to Cybertron, probably through Space Bridge this time, and with Dreadwing being the one to cut off Legion Maximal's arm. So we get back to the Autobot base where Ratchet and well, Grimlock, with ever medical expertise he actually has here, Grimlock is actually fixing the protective bots, with Hotspot actually blaming himself for their failure, and Grimlock is actually comforting him in a fatherly manner here, saying, no, it was my fault. I should have gave you more combat experience. Next mission, we'll both go on together, and Hotspot actually thanks him. So, yeah, this means Hotspot and the protective bots and Grimlock will be on the next mission together. Grimlock actually begins to share his history with the Maximals with Optimus Prime, including the location of Optimus Primal's remains here, as well as some of his original team members. Optimus decides that Grimlock should be able to do this mission himself, while the rest of them go look for the relics. Now, we do again get the Liege Maximal arm scene. Yeah, so for those who don't know, that is Liege Maximal's arm that Megatron has here. This is because they discovered the Forge of Solus Prime, and Megatron knows he can't use it without the power of a Prime earlier on in the series, instead of him trying it himself to see if the rumors were true. This is Megatron. He studied Prime history, not as much as Optimus did when he was Orion Pax, but it's enough here. So I think how I would actually end the episode off here, at least for this episode here, is that Shockwave actually reveals Predaking to Megatron. And Megatron's first thought is, send it after the Dinobot. So yeah, we do get the Predaking scene here with Optimus Prime, with Megatron, Shockwave, Knockout, Arachnid, Soundwave, and Breakdown, all witnessing Predaking. Oh yeah, Combaticons as well, all witnessing Predaking here. And we get an ending where Shockwave holds a sample of Grimlock's blood. Yeah, I'm going to end it there, guys. So, honestly, yeah. I think you guys know what part 4 is going to be. Grimlock versus Predaking. Yeah, the battle, Clash of Kings here. So, please comment down below, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Legendary Ghidorah, and I'll see you guys later for another video. Peace.